It's the One Pop Podcast, episode 4, season 2. This is Donville.
Your boy CN.
Rob, of course.
Guys, we have a wonderful cast this week with us. We have a couple of people in here today that is special to us in different ways. Some of us has been here previously in the past. Some of us will be a new addition to the future. I want to give a first welcome to someone very special to us, Janice. Good day, Janice.
Hey.
And how you doing, Janice?
I'm doing wonderful. And yourself?
I'm doing amazing, Janice. Thank you for asking. I also have my beautiful wife here as well, Chanel.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Chanel.
How you doing?
Doing good.
And I also have, I would say this is, if I could remember correctly, Hassan, this is your first authentic and official time being on the podcast, correct?
That's right. First time.
First time. All right, guys, so I want to welcome on Hassan. Hassan, you're actually coming in from Texas, correct?
Yeah, I'm in Austin, Texas right now.
Austin,
and it's hot out
Texas.
here.
It's hot out here. For real. Guys, I got some wonderful some topics that we're going to be talking about today. Donville.
Yeah.
To go over some of them for me, please.
Oh, which one you want to get into? I mean,
all right. Look, first and foremost, I want to jump head first into it. All right.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm not sure if you guys remember. I think we kind of touched on August Alsina coming out, and I want to say come out because that sounds weird. Talking about his relationship between him and Jada Pinkett Smith. When he first came out, he basically, and I want to make sure I set this part clear because I don't want to put too much hurt on the man's name based on what's going on in the media. That he had a relationship with Jada. He said the relationship was consensual, meaning that he did had the permission from Will Smith. He said that they were having a transition, and I'm trying to make sure I stem from the first interview before we touch into the new interview.
Well,
go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, before the even interview, it was like known like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
he came out saying that him and Jada was a thing. Like
first time.
Yeah,
he had a song about him.
Well, there was that too. But I remember, like, when he was still popular out here, like, there was a whole thing that he was messing with Jada, but this is before Red Table Talk, before she was, Will became more public with their stuff.
Yeah. And Trev, to be exact, he was on the Red Table Talk before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember he was talking about, August Alsina was talking about how, the quote unquote, their relationship was... Mm-hmm. It wasn't anything, sexual, but it was more of like, oh, she's like there for me. She was helping me through tough times. And he was like dropping little hints like that. He wasn't saying like, oh, I was dating her or doing anything else. So and that was like about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Now we got, some more information, apparently.
Now we got some more information. So, Donville, thank you. And now we've seen what has happened. And I think I love Janice's expression. I think I would like to let her loose a little bit early. Janice, if you want to jump in, or you would like me to get to the Will and Jada part first before you chime in?
Yeah, I'll let you get that part.
All right, so basically, guys, that kind of left the world in a limbo. We all saw the memes, and personally, I'm gonna give you my opinion on it, right? Because I guess I could start with my personal opinion. After seeing the memes, I really didn't like what I saw from the August Alsina thing because I did personally think that if that something was going on and he was inside of Will and Jada's relationship, right, he could have held her down. But that's just my thing.
What do you mean by held her down? Just like not about it?
Well, not say anything about it because especially when you not to say we're going to put their relationship on a pedestal, right? And when certain things are in the public eye.
We heard about Will and Jada before saying they had like an open relationship.
Yeah.
They were kind of just like free spirits. So it's like, I don't think it's not like they were like this big wholesome couple that you know what I'm saying was about like real I won't say real principles, but like the traditional marriage. Like they were always kind of known to have like a non-traditional type of marriage.
I think people look at them as important because they've got longevity in an industry where people really don't stay longer than 5 years.
Yeah.
And they've been married for almost 2 decades, if not already.
Yeah.
Another aspect that makes it's intriguing is they're a couple of color.
Mm-hmm.
And you rarely see a black man and a black woman together.
But then I do have to bring up the example of Denzel and his wife. And now that's like a mirror image because it's like Denzel's very respectful of his wife to where he don't really even talk to people, you know what I'm saying, in a certain manner because he has respect for his wife.
Yeah, he has enough respect for his wife where if he is doing something, it's not disrespectful in public.
Exactly.
So
but
that's that.
On the flip side, like Will and Jada, they kind of been known to just be like, yo, we don't.
I want to interject right there.
Yeah.
And I think that was the reason why Will and Jada both decided to go to the red table was to be transparent with people. And I feel like how society is responding is extremely nasty. So in that, you know, they kind of go in to say like they did have their.
Wait, hold on, Chanel. Hold on. We didn't get to that part yet. I can tell that's the hot hot part.
I mean, I wanted
to. Hold on. Since we want to get to the red table, guys, we're gonna bring the red table forward. Chanel wants to get to the red table. You're ready. You're hot for the red table, dog. Guys, if this is not an exciting part for us, hold on. All right, so guys, let's get to the red table so Chanel can get loose. As you can hear, Will and Jada did come to the red table to talk about what was going on, and I think to clear the air on a couple different things, and for one or two things, the status of their relationship, what was going on in their relationship, and to put some form of clarity on August Alstina's situation. Yeah, and I think they kind of shed some light. And I think shedding the light to me is what hit the point. And Chanel's going to touch on that, and I want Janice to touch on it too. Is a sense that Jada and Will, they were saying they were kind of going through a separation in their marriage. They were not divorced, but they were separating. And August Alstina was imparted into the relationship then. And what I'm kind of happy that they did, they kind of talked about how he did get into the relationship. He was friends with Jaden, and he was going through some mental issues.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. That's the reason why I wanted to bring the red table first before Chanel get loose. All right, she came to the red. Chanice, I gotta write that down. I love you, Chanice. So he was going through some mental issues, right? And the family said August needed help, meaning that Willow and Jaden said he needed help. So he was in the relationship at that moment as a friend of the families. And based on Jada's personality, which she says she's a lovable person, he needed some form of help. So her and Will kind of started to help him, right? Yep. And she did take on a little bit of a more direct role in assisting him.
I think that's personal.
No, no. I want to make sure I say it, taking a direct impact because of how she helps people with their mental awareness, right? In that moment, she and Will started to separate, right? And I'm happy she brought up her separation because these are the things that we need to touch on, right? And Chanel, you're gonna get loose. That's the reason why I bring you to the red table talk first. She brought it up to the sense that saying that they were separated or going through a separation, and Will did also stated that Jada was in need of things that at that moment he could not have given to her. And I'm happy that I'm gonna say this is crazy because it's when you see a rich, powerful couple, and I want to use the word rich or financially stable couple because a lot of people identify things with what money can buy. But in that moment, Jada said she was not happy. She was not pleased in her marriage, and she didn't state if it was infidelity or not. So I guess we can leave it up to what people are saying, right?
Wait, what are people saying?
Well, a lot of people. So now, wait, hold on. Chanel, I gotta let Chanel want to go. So I want to clear the red table talk first, so we can get that. We can get to the end, right? Basically, Will did address it. Not saying he gave August permission to be with his wife, but his wife was going through a phase, and he didn't. She was trying to help him, so he was like, "Yo, if she feels like that's the company that you like to be involved with, so be it." Right? And I want to get to the end so I can give my thought for you guys. Right? At the end of the conversation, long story short, they went through that process. Jada found what she was trying to find in the moment. Then she decided that what her marriage was more important than anything else, and that's what she wanted to fight for. So she and Will decided to stay together, and then their marriage progressed forward, right, to what we see now. And at the end, they quoted something that was crazy. They said "bad marriage for life." I thought that was funny, but it's crazy at the same time because I don't want to put a stigma on the word bad marriage, because I feel like we should all strive for something greater. You know what I mean? But I think they were just trying to make as light of a situation.
You know what that was from, though.
I know where it's from, baby. Yeah. But it was just to make light of the situation.
Where's it from?
Bad boys
for life. Yeah.
Oh.
But they were trying to make light of the situation from what they thought it was. But I'm happy they did address it in the way that they did, and they did leave enough room for people to air, because there's a couple times, and I want to take some little hints that Jada hit, where Jada was basically kind of saying that, well, you were cheating too. It's just that your cheaters wasn't being outed. You know what I mean? Like you all your people were good. It's unfortunate that the person who I tossed a cookie to was, if you know what I'm saying, has a speakerphone that he was really ready to shout it out to. And I think this is one of the reasons why my wife wanted to be a part of it. So Chanel, I'm gonna let you go.
Don, you had something you wanted to say?
No, I didn't know what the streets were saying. So
okay. So, hold on.
Will was cheating, or was Will cheating, or were they just broken up and Will was doing his thing too?
Okay, so basically, I want to say the interview. In the interview, right? They subliminally said it quietly without saying it. But the way Will kind of stated it in that moment where Jada was trying to find herself, he was not with anybody. But they didn't allude that he didn't have had infidelities in the past. Mm-hmm. And one more thing, Donville. One of the things was Will was kind of get into the point where is that he's had a previous failed marriage. So there are things that he wanted to take in account of what my wife's happiness is. Like the happiness that she was looking for, I couldn't give to her at that moment. But I still loved her and wanted to be with her. So the decision for separation, as he said, he wanted to get away from Jada too, because I'm trying to make you happy. I'm throwing you all these lavish parties. I'm taking you on the best vacations, but that wasn't really what was making you happy in that moment. Hopefully, she found the happiness where it is right now. What the street is basically saying, they're clowning August for one, for saying that you should have got the cookies and staying quiet. And a lot of people is clowning Will, saying that you should just throw Jada back to the streets because that's where she belongs. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of and they are making him look like a duck. Like, okay, you're a duck to throw your wife to the streets and then taking her back after she's been in the streets. And they use a lot of interviews that they tied into him, because a lot of people pull up the interview where he talks about how on the Breakfast Club, when they asked him how he felt about Tupac, and he kind of cursed and he felt some type of way. So they're using that to reference to what's going on with him now. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense, because August Alsina does not compare to Tupac at all. As a man, because real recognize real, of course, right, Cian?
That's real.
You can recognize that Tupac has a different energy than August Alsina, so that's a bad comparison.
It's just men being in the cookie nonetheless.
Okay, so ladies, I'll let you go.
So, okay. So, for me personally, they did not openly say they never had an open marriage, but what they did say is that while they were going through their separation, it kind of seems like Jada had her partner, right, which is the person that ended up outing and saying all their business. And then it seems like over the years, Will has had his own thing. But nonetheless, they have come together and they're moving forward. So to me, I felt like they did address that open relationship stigma, which is that they do not, but even though they were separated in their marriage, they're in the same house, living together, parenting together, but having different relationships. So for me, I was like, all right, right. So now society to me is responding to Will coming back to the marriage and moving on past this is where I'm kind of having a very nasty taste in my mouth because I feel like, yes, they are a black couple that is, in the spotlight in this industry. But at the same time, no matter what it is, they overcame obstacles and they're moving forward. And people, society's like, oh, you're looking like a duck, you're looking stupid out there because you're taking back this person. But at the end of the day, these are the things that happened. It was not cheating, right, in their eyes, in the way that they had formulated it, because like August said, he had sat down, spoke with Will. Will gave them their blessings, which is fact. They spoke on that also. It's not that he gave him his blessings, but she was letting him be aware. This is what is going on right now. This is the person who I'm seeing. And he was like, what can I do type of thing. But she said I could understand where August felt like I was getting blessings from that. So again, moving forward, I feel like this is what it takes to make a marriage work. And what we're seeing today, where we're like, dang, yo, Will and Jada, they really like it. They love it. And a lot of times when you restart something, you're going to see like a rebirth of something new, something different, which is what we're all gravitating to. But I'm guessing August is feeling shysty over there, like, yo, she was supposed to be mine. And it's fact, she went back to her husband type of thing, So that's just my take on it. I feel Sia and I both agree, like no work, no type of entanglement should have occurred while having a marriage. Like if any type of entanglement should have occurred, it should have happened outside of the divorce. But hey, this is how their story played out.
All right, Janice, I want to let you loose on this part. I want to hear your thoughts.
There's some things going on that is just disturbing to me. One, the fact that there's a person with a mental health situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not only, so someone took advantage of someone at their lowest point when they were not in a space to make sound judgment because their perspective is off and their rationale is off, right? So in that kind of sense, you have an older predator going after somebody that they know is incapable of making a rational sound judgment in a different situation, right? You have a mother.
I love that, Janice. I'm sorry.
You have a mother, right, going after her son's friend.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's wild.
And it wasn't. And the thing is, like, it wasn't that she was looking for a relationship. From what I'm hearing, she really was looking
this was like a cat and mouse,
quote unquote, companionship.
Yeah,
she just wanted to.
She used someone
to get the cookies.
So you have someone who is taking advantage of someone in a vulnerable place. Yeah. That happens to be your child's friend. That's disturbing to me.
Yeah,
because if my child has a friend, right?
Yeah.
I would pray and hope that whatever location they're at, the adult in the situation is going to be an adult.
Yeah. And that's when when you were saying that, August was kind of brought into the family, made part of the family, like instantly Jada's supposed to take the mother role.
Yeah, but she did say she said
at most she's supposed to be a mother role, not no get these cookies role.
So from the brief description you gave me, from the brief description that you gave me, we have a sociopath, right? Because they have no remorse, right? For how their actions will affect others. It's almost narcissistic to say that, oh, I'm a lovable person. No, you are charismatic and you're able to draw people towards you and manipulate them to do the things that you want them to do. That's what it is. You're not lovable, because anyone who has real love in a Christian sense or in a Webster's dictionary sense would not do that to a younger, vulnerable person. Real love is setting a boundary and not crossing it.
Yeah.
Okay? So they're narcissistic by their profession and by their actions, because they have this open marriage because they know that they can draw people to them and use them and manipulate them for sexual favors, for money, for publicity, what have you. So that's the first thing that disturbs me. The second thing is I don't feel that this was a way to clear their name, because honestly, everyone's known for a long time that they've had this kind of open marriage, because Will has been spotted. What's that girl, Margot Robbie?
Yeah. He was younger.
Yo, he was always associated with her, and she was everywhere.
Yeah.
And like the energy that I felt with him and her was the same energy that I always felt with him and Jada. You know, like when they did with Suicide Squad, and then the other one where they were con artists. Remember that? And they were real heavy in press, and everyone was like, they're really close. And they would talk about, because I used to watch Wendy Williams, and they would talk about how Jada was angry about it. And I think this was going on. The August Alsina thing was happening around the same time, because you have what people deem to be a beautiful woman, right? And your husband is seen with this beautiful woman, working with this beautiful woman. She's young. And then let's be real, that can hurt your ego. And that can really hurt your ego, especially if you're a narcissist.
Well, I will say this. Towards the end of the interview, they were talking, and you know, he was like, well, I just feel like I got to go, you know, go back, you know, basically one up you. And she's like, you basically already did. Like, you know, they kind of chucked it off, like Cian was saying, you know, like this little cheating thing that had occurred, which that definitely would make sense, because I never even seen that.
True, but at the end of the day, they're actors.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know what they're doing is genuine? The second, so the first thing I saw was that, you know, you have predatory, narcissistic manipulation going on, right? Yeah. For someone in a vulnerable state, right? And that's dangerous for someone with mental health issues. So you're going to play with someone who's already unstable, they can go and slit their wrist. Yeah. You know? Second thing, I don't really think that they were trying to air or clear or help heal their marriage. I really see this as the propaganda that we see day in and day out against a real marriage. Mm-hmm. Everyone's promoting this open marriage. It's like this new thing. Oh, I have an open marriage. We see it in Awkward. It's in all the TV shows. And now you have a famous Black celebrity couple who people revere and try to base their relationships on, right? Oh, status goals, Will and Jada goals, right?
Like now,
and now they're pushing an open marriage. Why? We're in a pandemic where people are worried about who's going to watch their kids if they have to if the kids have to do remote learning and they have to go back to work.
Yeah, people got to choose between having a job and having kids.
Having a job, having kids. The stimulus checks are about to run out. Like, people have real life decisions that are coming up, and then they choose to release this now. What, to stay relevant? To confuse people? To distract people from the real issues? I really feel like it's an attack on marriage. And it's just one more thing that people are being the propaganda to influence what your life should look like. Yeah, no one's life should look like this.
And here's the thing, but through all that, you know what I'm not hearing? I'm not hearing anything about prayer, because everybody can knock DJ Envy as much as they want, but that man, when he was at his lowest point in his marriage, he stated that he had to get in the prayer closet. He had to pray for his marriage. He had to fight for his marriage. And you see the blessings of them now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear none of that during this Will and Jada thing.
Yeah. But again, that goes to the propaganda to attack marriage. Marriage is a spiritual union, right? Yeah. Civil union is a legal aspect. Marriage is in the church. Marriage is in the synagogue. Marriage is in the mosque. So for them to say bad marriage, it is that spark that just puts that doubt in your mind as to what a marriage really comprises of. And yeah, you know what? When you're separated, whether you like it or not, you're spiritually and legally bound to the other person. So if you want to work on your marriage, then you move like a married person. You continue to move like a married person. That's like when you're on these dating apps or you're going on a date and, oh, are you single? Yeah. No. Are you single? As in you're not separated. You're not in a situationship. You're not surfing on the couch, but your girl is sleeping in the room and the kids are all around. Like, you have to be, are you single as in you are not legally, spiritually, or physically bound to anybody, or you don't share an address?
Yeah.
You know? And it's so sad that you have to go through those extremes just to find out if they actually understand what the real term of single means.
Yeah, you gotta break it down.
Now, they're both wrong, all right? They're both wrong. Two wrongs don't make it right. So if they want to stay in that marriage, I guess they're just promoting it to the world. Hey, look, I'm shoot your shot because you might win, you know? But I know damn sure Donville will be like, situationship, open marriage. You must want to die tomorrow because that's not the marriage that I have. And I'm going to go back to when you get married, what God has put together, let no man put asunder. And they always say the three chords. The three chords is your God, Jesus Christ for us, your wife, and your husband. No one else, right?
Yeah.
And these people, they're like, oh, well, we need to clear the air. Hey, if you didn't open your marriage, you wouldn't have to clear anything. If you had enough respect for each other, no one would know what's going on between your legs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so besides all this casual sex, anyone take an STD test? Is anyone pregnant?
Well,
are there something that we don't know about? I just really feel that it just feeds into the narcissism of these people that take advantage of others in vulnerable places, and its attack on the union of marriage, on the sanctity of marriage.
Do you know you also open up a whole nother thing, because that's what we're seeing right now with these celebrities, where they're preying upon those children. You know, how many people have we seen in these sex trafficking situations, these young girls that these celebrities, these royalties are using and passing around, you know? So I think you just shedded a lot of light on that, even as like the women that are getting caught up in this type of situations.
Like, I'm not even like, oh, but you know, I think I saw a meme where they were like, oh, Future's taking notes or something. So like, yeah, men do it all the time, right? And they don't catch as much heat as a female.
Yeah.
But let's just clear the air. Male, female, if you got a ring on your finger, if someone else has to file a joint tax return with you, if you are not divorced, you shouldn't be sleeping around. You know? It's just so it's more culturally looked frowned upon when it's a woman. Because if a man goes and cheats on his wife and has an outside kid, you know, and the woman forgives and receives that man back, right? Plus the kid, that's a saint. She gets sainthood, right? That's a good woman. She stuck by her man. She followed her marital vows, right?
Yeah.
But if a woman steps out, and God forbid she has another man while she's still married, she's a hoe and needs to go back to the streets. And the man's a simp, right?
Well, hold up. Here's the thing.
Come on.
Here's the thing. In this situation, she told him, and he basically said his wife wasn't happy. He allowed her to do whatever she needed to do to make sure that she's happy.
So if I came to you and I said, let me ride this man because it'll bring me joy and happiness, you be chill with it because you're worried about my happiness?
No. Because and it points back to the problem
and the same
that's
way,
within their marriage.
And the same way, if you were to come and tell me, yo, I got to knock these cookies out because it just relieved me, I'd be like, let me box your head off your shoulders because you must have forgot who I was. And then you are married. Oh, no, because your brain must have been screwed loose. And I'm going to help you put it back in the right position.
No, but I don't think it sounds like that.
I don't promote violence, but I'm just saying. Like, who does that? Who does that?
Emphasize that part, guys. We don't promote violence.
We do not promote violence. But you better believe we're going to be in a room with a table in between us that we can't jump over. Donville knows that. First of all, he knows not to ask me. Second of all, he knows that that's going to have to be a conversation where I'm not in the room with him.
So, the question, Janice. So, just open look. You would never go to a gentleman's club with Donville. Those stuff are completely out of the question.
No, I won't. You want to know why? A hole is still a hole. Whether when you're in a boat, whether you've got a leak the size of a pinhole or a leak the size of a bucket,
so
you're still going down. It's still a leak. You're still going down, and water's coming into your boat.
I just want to make sure I leave that one out there.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Because you're putting that in someone's mind. I mean, we all watch what you call it? What's the one?
Which one?
Handmaid's Tale, right?
I don't watch that.
Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. White ladies playing Harriet Tubman, right?
Oh, I would definitely not be watching that, guys. I'm sorry, I do not promote that.
So this late Handmaid's Tale is where people can't get pregnant, and they have this one woman. They have the fertile people sleeping with the higher ups, so that in hopes of them having their children, right? But the wife is present at all times. You're still allowing someone into your marriage bed, you know? And luckily for us, we have a strong, faithful background that helps solidify what the marriage bed represents, what our vows represent, right? When you invite people into your home and you tell them your problems, you're inviting more problems, more opinions, right? When you're inviting someone into your bed, when you sleep with someone, that's a soul tie that you make. That is a huge distraction that you take away from solving the real problem between the husband and his wife and addressing the issue that needs to be at the core between the husband, the wife, and that third rope, which is God.
That's correct. But Janice, I do want to stand clear on this part though. There were very prophetic people in the Bible that did have multiple wives that was given onto them and it was used for scriptural purposes. But I would see based on time of how we've evolved as society and what we've learned, the decision making in that part has changed and altered where we need to be. So I completely 100% agree with you. But Janice, one moment, I want to take a steal from you because I want to hear Hassan's opinion on what the matter
is. So I'm not gonna lie. There's actually nothing I disagree with what Jenny said, because based on everything you said, as far as Will and Jada, as they said previously before, they did announce that, you know, they were going to have an open relationship and they were going through a tough time and they wanted it to be, Will wanted Jada to be happy. Jenny, you were right.
Wait, Hassan, hold up, Hassan, not to take you. They did not say that they have an open relationship. What I want to use the word that they use, and these are the words that's carefully, because I want you. Let me take some of the words that was used from Jada and Will over the years. You notice a new word is not, like, for example, side chicks is out the door, side dudes is out the door, because nowadays you got to be entangled. I had to throw that one in the guys.
Is that the word entangled?
Yeah, it's entangled.
Yeah.
That's the new word for side chicks. But the key word that they've tried to use over the years, and a lot of people have not been paying attention to, which not saying it came to my mind and to my eye and sign, just so I can give it to you, is the word partner. No, Dave, I want you. These words are key words. Hold on.
Okay, wait. Before you go further, I'm just gonna bring out the definition of entangle. I will
appreciate that.
And it means to involve someone in your difficulties or complicated circumstances from which it is difficult to escape. So instead of resolving the issue, you're bringing someone else into your problem. That's what entangled means. And that is, and you know what? Honestly, that was the best word to use because it's true. You're not free. You're not in a good place. You're having a problem and you're bringing someone else into your problem to be part of the problem and to burden them with your problem.
And that's why she said there was a lot of hurt. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done. I want you to realize she used her words very wisely. She did.
But that's what a narcissist does. Mm-hmm. That's what an abuser does. these people are trained in linguistics, in body language, and in verbal language.
Yes,
so of course they're going to know how to smooth talk you. Of course they're going to know how to make. Listen, these people paint pictures with their words and their actions because that's what they do. Act.
Yes.
They use their words, they use their tone, they use their body language, and they paint this real pretty picture when it's.
But I will say
sorry.
this.
Sorry.
They did not have an open relationship when everything occurred, when even either on his end as well, they were separated. They had made amicable decisions that they were going to be
because
separated.
He was living somewhere else.
Okay, so it's an open marriage. When you separate, think of a zipper. When you separate your jacket, right? Isn't it open? The zipper is there for you to put your jacket back up.
Edit me. Wait,
okay.
Wait, Asando. I want to give Asando.
My statement to this.
Go ahead, Asando.
That's kind of funny. So my statement to this is that the reason why I consider it to be an open relationship because Will did acknowledge that he wanted Jada to be happy, because they were going through their worst of times, and the fact that she was vulnerable based on what happened in their relationship alongside with that dude, who was there. To me, that was off, completely off. It made no sense. And I thought that it was a disrespect to, their own relationship and their own belief, because at the very beginning, they claimed that they were going to pursue their lives and future together at all times, without anything that's going to come in between their relationship. Now, something happened in between their relationship. They completely disregard everything they, hold on to each other for the very beginning of time to where, Jada is being happy elsewhere. Well, Will is just living by himself in his own home. And it makes absolutely no sense that if that's something you're willing to pursue, then you should not have your marriage to stay open. That should have been a divorce right then and there. But the fact that they continued their marriage because they have this thing where it's like, regardless of how separate they are, they're going to somehow merge back together. That's just not really a marriage. That's not even a real relationship. That's just like, at this point in time, you might as well just call it friends with benefits, And for me to see them come out publicly like this on TV, announcing to everyone what they're going through, I do believe that's all an act to show public eyes, like what they want to show them, and it doesn't make sense to me for them to bring this out when everything that's, just like Jenny said, everything that's happening out there, it's like, what's the point? That we got the coronavirus going on. We still got protests continuing on. We got a debate going on between presidency. We got people dying, hospital being, banked. And yet this is what's happening on TV. It's what we're looking at instead. And that's sad. That to me is personally, that's sad. And that's just showing that,
I mean,
go ahead, Hassan, I got to add something though.
Go, Trev.
Right, my take in the whole thing. All right, so where to even begin?
From the front. From the front.
All right, so okay, as it was put on the Red Table episode yesterday, August, I'm about to call him Austin. August came into being around the family. Who knows? I don't really know if it was from Jaden. I don't really know how, right? But he became close with the family. The man was 25 years old around that time too. So he wasn't like Jaden.
No, he was an adult at the time. You're right.
Jaden was what 19 or 20 years old around that time. So it's kind of different there. If you ever look towards August, or even listen to his music, or how artistry is, there is a mental situation that everyone that does art goes through. And I saw it in August from jump, right? So when he got becoming friends and close with that family, and we knowing that their connections of helping, and they really promote therapy, they promote really counseling a lot. I understand when it came to, all right, they're helping him out. They're trying to give him the best resources because they have more resources than any of us could ever have, right? Yeah. So uh, when someone's weak, and then also in that whole marriage that they're both going through problems as well, there was a vulnerability on both ends. And when they were searching for uh, a bond, when they were searching for closure, they're searching for something to make them feel right, both themselves. They created a bond with each other. I wouldn't put, my opinion, I don't think it was predatory. I think it was, they had a bond. There's bonds created when mental illness comes into play. When someone's helping the sick, there's a bond instantly created with that. And it has happened in many other relationships. I have been in one. I understand it, right? So when it came to them being in a entanglement situationship, whatever, as it was put last night, they Will was done with this relationship. Like they never put out how they healed either. Which I think if you have to go down and watch all their red table talks and all that, you'll probably hear how they got through it. But they didn't. I guess with August saying it on Angela Yee's show, what was it, like last week? Yeah. It kind of showed that what was the one of the main problems that was going on in that relationship was they were so unhappy. Like they went their separate ways. They just left. Then Jado has created an instant bond because when you're helping someone, you want to help. It's not you want to help someone, but you're getting so much connection with that person. You're vulnerable as well. I can understand why that started. But that the thing was too, whatever the marriage between Will and Jada, the connection between them two was strong enough that they joined back. And August couldn't take it. He cut ties. He hasn't talked to him since, right? They even brought that up last night too, right? So go ahead.
Nah, so I'm not disregarding or disagreeing with what you're saying as far as what happened what happened in that moment in time, because you're right. When both people are vulnerable, they kind of merge together, and that's understandable. But at the same time, we're talking about adults, and we kind of want to question that in a sense of saying like, so let's just say now Will and Jada are good. So what happens in the future if they end up going in a situation where they can't even look at each other again, just like previously before? It's unfair to say that every time something happens, someone has to be vulnerable and start a different relationship with someone else just because of this relation, just because something's not working out again. You get what I'm saying?
I understand that.
I think at that particular moment in time, when that disagreement was happening between Will and Jada, I think they should have decided whether they should have decided to give them each other space from each other, because sometimes it's good to have some space for yourself. Not everyone's the same thing, but because everybody's different in their own ways, sometimes it's healthy to have space. And I think if they were to take that time to themselves, and kind of process, and kind of like what Donvi was saying and Janice was saying, put God into your life, pray, I think the situation could have ended up becoming very different than what happened between Jada and man, I can't remember homeboy's name.
August.
August.
Oh yeah, there you go. August. Jeez, what a name.
I get you on. I agree with you on that.
And I get that. And I'm not saying like you're wrong, because August was, in a moment where he needed someone there. And you're right. Will and Jada had.
It's the same thing with her too. That's what I'm saying. It's her too. Right. She needed closure. She needed a bond as well. She was gone. She had 2 kids with this man, and they could not get anything right. If you ever watch one of their episodes, and Will brought up how he did something amazing for her, and it's like I forgot what it was exactly. Like he bought everything that she wanted, or set up a party.
This amazing 40th birthday party where he shut it down.
Yeah, and it could be around that same time where they just couldn't get things to connect. And I am not encouraging people to step outside of marriages at all, right? My wife said she would kill me, but I am saying they had to go through something in order to erupt to get back to healing. And I'm not saying every marriage just needs to go through that lane, because for me, no, that's not my lane. But there's some stuff that has to happen in order for healing to occur. And for her to, hey, get me go outside. He must have went outside too, because I also heard one homegirl of mine, shout out to Tiffany, brought up that Will was with J-Lo, allegedly. I never heard about that, but oh my god, if that's true. But anyway, I know. Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know how much that's true either, right? But I take this as an example that no marriage is going to be perfect. It takes work to make it to 25 years. It takes work to make it to 50 and so on. I see how my uncle and auntie just hit their 50th anniversary a couple months ago, and they even say they've gone through some troubles. And these people, they're evangelists and they're high up in the church. So it's like, it's not even just in or out the church. It's also the bond you're creating with this person for a lifetime. I'm not going to know Tati 100% up 50 years from now, because I know I still got stuff more to learn until we both are on the other side. Because I know as a relative of mine brought up, it takes a lifetime to learn someone, to love someone. Marriage is the key to, hey, sticking through it, trying to improve yourself towards it. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's tough to for me, it's tough to really judge on their situation, because they're in the public light, and since they're celebrities, they're famous people, their life is in the public, so we got to talk about it. But it shows me that you can't rate yourself towards another one's marriage, because I'll put that on them too. I put that on Jay-Z and Beyonce. I put that on anyone, even put that on Denzel and his wife. Like, the way my marriage work can't work how they work. It just can't, because the bond between me and my wife is different from each and every one of us. All of us are married once, but our bond towards our wives is different. It's meant for us, because that's the reason why we can't switch wives, because our wives are different. You know what I mean? So it's like us towards our wives is that rib. She is my missing rib. You know what I mean? It's not that you can fill another rib back into that same spot. The way she was cracked fits perfectly back in towards mine. So it's more than just marriage and that's it. You got to work through it. Will and Jada proved it to the world. To a lot of people that thinking, knowing marriages don't work, even though they gone through something 2 or 3 years ago, they're still going through it. They're still working on it. It's not dead today. They might say bad marriages for life, but I mean, I really think that was more of a joke. But still, you gotta understand. You gotta understand. It's like
words that mean. Like, you gotta let Will is intelligent enough. I hope he's intelligent enough to be careful with the words that he says, especially with the position that he has. So I don't think anything that he says in front of the camera is by accident.
That's correct, Don.
But you gotta be careful about things. It's kind of blasphemous to say bad marriages for life. That's not something you joke about. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you're casting a spell.
Yeah, like that was very intentional.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let me take a small stab. Let me take a small stab at it. You see, that's the reason why I'm kind of happy I heard everybody speak. You know, because there's so many different angles this comes from male and both females. To listen to how we all decide on this thing. You know what I mean? Now, personally, and I want to give my personal thought. I think we all have took around and given our personal thoughts on it. I want to take a personal stab in the sense that I'm gonna say there's things I liked and things I didn't like. I didn't like the August Alstina thing. I think that was nasty. I want to make sure I get quoted on that part because I felt like something personal was going on, and even though you're considered a healing tool, that you still turn around and try to deteriorate because Jada and Will technically should have never had to come to the red table to technically have this conversation. Just especially during the time of need when we need more than personal relationship. Second point, that this is not good for young marriages. Definitely not so. Not saying I'm promoting open marriage. I think Trevor has covered that part extensively. That what I feel like what is being said and what's going to be shown to the youth, and I think this is the part that's very important. The word youth this is how we're showing them how to deteriorate their relationship, because the people who are not saying were going to the 50 and 60 years of marriage didn't have things to deal with, is that they had less people involved in their relationship to cause more destruction in their relationship.
Distraction.
Or distraction. Thank you very much, Janice. Because this is what things like this does. You feel what I'm saying? Because right now, I'm gonna say this. Sometimes going through a healing process, and whenever I'm gonna use a cut, and I'm definitely gonna use a cut as a reference. If a wound is healed and something comes and reopen it actually opens back doors for negative things that can happen back to your body or infections that hit your body. You feel what I'm saying? So these things actually, you've overcome these hurdles should have never been open. So I'm gonna say this. I think August Alsina was nasty on that part. You feel what I'm saying? If you're trying to sell some records, not saying anything, there's better ways to go to sell the records than to bring this to the forefront. First, two, I don't think Will and Jada should have even addressed this. I think this should have stayed home. This should have stayed laughed at. Let August Alsina memes faded out, because technically I felt like this to me hurt Will and Jada more than how it benefited their relationship.
True.
I want to make sure I set that first and foremost, because look at it. I'm celebrating 15 years of marriages here, and I want to thank God on that one, right? But low key, I don't want to be thinking about all the bad times. You feel what I'm saying? I want to be riding on the good waves. You feel what I'm saying? Let's keep these good waves going. Let's drop all the negativity in the past. Let's keep it in the past. You know what I mean? And that was just my personal opinion. And next thing, on the whole intersexual the marriage thing, I personally think they should have got if you're gonna have sex with somebody else, let's get a divorce. You feel what I'm saying? You can always get remarried. You feel me? With the amount of money you guys have, it's probably been an even more enlightening situation for you guys to get remarried, to show that you guys separated, move on with life for a little bit, to know that you guys still to come around. But when you bring somebody inside of there, you're not teaching Jaden, Willow, or anybody else young inside of your situation anything good. But that was just my take. I want to let the floor. Go ahead, Trev.
Also, about the August part is, first, even though this, I want to give credit to Angela Lee for making her podcast go off, touch the world, just by asking that question. She led him into asking that question because she always heard it was a rumor, and she got him to talk about it just for, what's that, maybe like 3 minutes? I don't know. It's short, but that sparked, as a media person, like, hey, shout out to Angela Yee. But with August, yeah, I think it's also the mental.
It was a reach.
Yeah, of course, it was a reach. It was like, dang, I gotta say something now. He kind of made it. Way she put the questioning is like you made him answer it, but he's not media trained enough to say, correct, hey, oh no, they're just cool people. You know what?
So Janice, you like media, he was getting exploited from Angela Yee too?
That's her job, to stay relevant in a time when people are watching the news for pandemic news. Nothing is coincidental. right? These people are known for being controversial with their family, for letting Willow go into the industry at such a young age, for letting Jaden wear a skirt and, you know, hang out with the Kardashians and be questionable gender. Like, they're always in the media for doing
weird stuff,
weird, you know, non-traditional family things. Yeah. And I just think that it's an attack not only on marriage, but it's an attack on Black marriage. When people are looking at culture in general and saying, you know, when you destroy the marriage,
you know what?
You know, when you destroy the marriage, you destroy the economy for a certain culture of people, right? And they're talking about making moves to make Black marriage stronger, better, and support it. And then here you have a Black celebrity couple talking about the most heinous thing you can do to marriage.
Yeah. And then
you know what I'm saying? It's all propaganda. Like, none of this is to cater to the public, because, you know, at the end of the day, whatever they do in their bedroom and in their house, that's none of my business.
Yeah.
Some people think that that is entertainment. Some people think that they have the right to know because they're celebrities. But at the end of the day, the same way, I don't know what's going on with your marriage. You don't know what's going on with my marriage. Why? Because that's my business. But again, they're narcissistic. They find ways to stay relevant or put themselves into the public eye, whether it's, whether not beneficial, whether it's promoting good, healthy lifestyles, or whether it's destructive to anybody or culture. They're promoting themselves at the detriment and in a way that they're putting that pinhole leak into the minds of people who don't know any better, who have no one to steer them any better. We just had a whole month of people talking about Black Lives Matter, get the Black household right, let's put our culture together, let's get our money right. But at the end of the day, if your family unit isn't strong, everything else is gone.
Exactly.
So everyone's had this make the Black marriage, make the Black household strong, and then you have a Black celebrity power couple, quote unquote, come and talk about how they sleeping around. Well, and you know what? And everyone's like, well, Will's a simp. No, Will's not a simp, because you know what? If he wasn't already doing his own thing, he wouldn't be caring what his wife's doing. Hey, look, I'm sleeping on this chick, so go ahead, sleep with whatever you want. We're separated. So for people to think that he is not in an affair, at the same time, y'all dumb. Because no man would tell his woman, his wife, whoever, yeah, go ahead and sleep with him, boo, because he's going to keep you occupied while I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, and here's the thing that disturbs me about it. They go through all this exposing their dirt, and then there's no resolve to it. It's like, okay, I let her go have her fun, and we came back, we're fine. Like, you're sending the wrong message to the Black community. You're basically saying it's all right for me to let my wife go sleep with somebody because we're gonna be good, and you don't expose what the process was that you went through to be quote unquote good. If you are good.
I will say this. I don't think that's how it went down. You know, they didn't really expound on that aspect of it, but I mean, I've seen this happen in marriages before where it's like they're separated and like they hate each other. Like, they're done with each other. All they need to do is just sign the paper, and they're doing their own thing. And then life kind of brings them back to each other.
No, sign the paper.
And that's what I agree. You understand me? Like, let's not blur the lines. Let's make sure everything is crystal clear.
Sign the paper. If you want to come back, we can do this again.
I agree. But I think this is awesome. I think that, in a sense, as much as I do love Will and Jada, we cannot look at, and also Trevor said, we cannot look at any particular one marriage and try to model our marriage after that particular marriage. And I think what it's doing, it's making them look human. You understand me? But it's also letting the people know, like, this is your point in time where you have to do some introspection and realize, like, what do you look and idolize in a marriage? Like, what are you bringing to the table? What does your spouse look like? Like, you know, it's not putting any one person on that principle to know, guess what? You're in your own marriage. You guys are on that pedestal. You guys are soaring to be that, you know, that picture for the next generation that comes here, to model for them, show them, hey, this is how my marriage, things that we worked it out, and this is how y'all worked it out, and just good conversation.
No, I get it. Yeah, and I understand what you're saying. You have to have already a healthy mentality and a healthy perspective to get that from there.
Yeah.
Most people may not have the ability, or we're fortunate enough that we all come from households with at least one strong marriage, where we can see, marriage is no joke. You gotta really love that person to walk into marriage. The benefits and the fruit, they are good. But that cultivating time where you're gardening and you're watering and you're fertilizing your marriage, that's why labor is called labor. Blood, sweat, tears. And you have to be committed to. Everyone wants to be there for the harvest, but they don't want to be there for the cultivation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No one wants to be there. No one wants to show the nasty ugliness, right? No one wants to show that. And it's no one's business. They want you to show up for the photo op. They want you to be the nice picture on Instagram and be like, oh, I want to have that one day. No. If you would have known what it took to get there, you'd be like, you can have it. Take it, because my peace of mind might be better. No. Marriage is love. Marriage is wonderful. Marriage is necessary, right? Marriage is the first rule that God gave. That's the first commandment that God gave in the Bible. Before he said religion, country, household, man be with woman and make children. Sorry, I'm pounding the table if you hear the noise. That was the first commandment, or the first order or direction that God gave before he said, make this country, cultivate this plant, right? Before he said, you need to work, he said, you need to be married. You need to be one. That was the first commandment, right?
Yes. Nope. Now, I want to go ahead and say something.
Outside of paradise, it's hard work. Because now you have powers and principalities attacking the first thing that God told you to do. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I want to be a little bit selfish and say this while we have the wives here, to hear this. This is the reason why sometimes when people need help, I'll be like, yo, y'all need to just chill and stay home. You know what I mean? Like on God, don't take it no way when your husband's like, yo, you just stay home. Hold on, yo, leave.
Cheese on there. Are these both going to be exactly the same or a little bit different?
You know what I mean?
One of them's going to be.
Because you be in the retrospect to look at it like, yo, you know what I mean? Like you're out there trying to help somebody, and these things help to deteriorate. So I want to say this. For the wives, don't take it away when you hear your husband say stay home and stay from people. These are things that we're trying to avoid. Don't let nobody come inside your space.
I have to agree. And as much as this is something that I had to fight with a lot of years, I do realize why the Lord has put women not only subjected unto God, but then onto our husband, and then onto our leadership at your church or wherever you go to worship. But there's an order and principality of things. So there's wisdom in listening to our husband.
Thank you. Now, Trev, I do know you watch Hamilton. Hamilton. Sorry. Don't have accent, dog. Gonna know me alone, yo. Don't laugh. Oh,
it's cute.
Right. So, Trev, you know what? Just for some of the viewers to get enlightened, I'm gonna let you take the floor.
Well, first, I encourage everybody who loves knowing history, knowing how this country got started, and then also loves hip hop, and also just loves like an evening in your house with just you and your wife, or you and your spouse, or you and your whatever. Just sit, or your entanglement. Just sit and
Come
watch.
against that in the name of Jesus.
Sure, I'm telling you, boy, that's a new way. Guys, just so you know, while you're chilling with your entanglement. Continue, Trevor.
But yeah, sit and pop a bottle of wine and watch Hamilton. It is a wonderful, because I already love musicals. I don't get to watch it as often as I want to, but this one, I wanted to go there live when it was in Orlando, but tickets was damn near rent, so I am not gonna go. So, but since it's on Disney Plus now, I encourage you. You're gonna be singing them songs, playing them back to back. Like, you're not playing the regular hip hop no more. You're gonna be like getting songs off of this soundtrack. Cause it was wonderful. Like, My Shot was one of the big ones. Yeah. Satisfied is on repeat in my house. Yeah, it was amazing, and it's like, it was touching to hear. And you know what? We can even bring it back up to the whole entanglement thing, because Alexander Hamilton had an entanglement too. If you go check your history,
entanglement.
Period.
And you see what got him. That got him in some trouble too. But hey, he was stupid still. But yeah, that was a wonderful thing. I encourage anyone to go watch that. Every actor on that stage was 10 out of 10. It was just amazing. Like, they didn't crack. I know it's like, it was like 2 different filmings, and they merged it so they could sing together, but it was amazing to watch. So when y'all bored, y'all keep me kissing on the camera. But when y'all bored, not even bored, when you just want a date night, but you know you can't go outside because COVID. So I'm a key example. I caught it. So stay inside.
Hold on. You got entangled with COVID?
No. Oh yeah, I did. Put that out there. But yeah, just sit inside and watch this. It was 2.5 hours. It's long, so hey, enjoy. It's gonna be a minute, but yeah, that was wonderful to watch. I don't know if anyone else watched it.
Yeah, so I've been watching it. Kind of broke it up into parts. We actually watched it with the kids, and the kids kind of like it. My son, he's 3. He's a little scared of it because he doesn't like the way the king acts. Where he's like, King's mean.
The king was so hilarious. But yeah.
But we got about an hour through it, and then we had to hit the pause. But we're definitely gonna finish it up. I liked it. I think it was pretty fun. A lot of funny moments. I definitely agree with you on the songs, Trev. They're very, very well done. It was actually written. A lot of the songs were actually written by the main character too.
Yeah. He created
out, like, that was interesting as well. But
it was.
You watched it. I didn't. I have no idea what's happening.
Oh dang!
I wasn't paying attention. No.
Yeah, my wife doesn't pay attention to her movies.
I
watched pieces of it. My brother-in-law.
I suggest y'all put the captions on though. But definitely, when y'all watch it, put the captions on so you can catch the words and understand that the way that these people are rapping, like, it puts you into that world of storytelling. How Slick Rick used to do it, like how
I was gonna say, like, Slick Rick.
Yeah. It puts you into that world. So I'm like, dang, this is amazing. And yeah, I encourage kids to watch it too. Let all my god kids watch that too. I hope they catch it.
Not without me.
Oh yeah.
Just because
their godmother wants to sit down and watch it with them too.
All right, so she can do that, bro.
Yeah. Oh, she cheating.
That is waiting for you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna restrict them from watching it till you show up.
What, say again?
I'm gonna restrict them from watching it until you show up.
Okay, I got you. We gotta have snacks because that's 2.5 hours, dude. So.
Long play.
Yeah.
Have a little intermission.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, we had to do it 2 nights. Jeez. But is there any other topic we got? I know that Wayfair scandal.
Oh, I don't want to get into that, man. Yo, I feel like entanglement was enough.
What about Goya?
Well, I mean, the Goya thing is I think is a different thing. I mean, Janice, because right now that I think that's tied into political votes. So I don't even see why they want to cut him. You know what I mean? In that sense, because what happens after politics? I think that's the reason why I looked at it. I was like, that is craziness. Because there's so many other products out there that you could have been supporting. If you just feel like you just didn't want to buy them, then that'd have been one thing. But don't stop buying somebody's product because of how they do that part. But I do want to jump on the Wayfair thing, Janice. I'm not sure if you heard about the Wayfair thing. I want to start with. Go ahead, Janice.
I think I caught a little bit of it, where they were advertising pillowcases for like thousands of dollars, but it was actually sex trafficking.
Yes.
Children. Is it
children? This is a conspiracy.
Yes, I guess we're throwing stones. Yeah, we're throwing stones in that water because the reason why we want to throw some of these stones, because not saying anything, we've been caught up with all these foolishness on social media, and then all these pedophiles are trying to slide away underneath the corner. I think Donville may touch on that with the emails in different ways, but to say the least, you know what I mean? We see the Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein's. I think there's something with a Steen in it. Yeah, I gotta be careful with that. You know what I mean? Steen. But this is just to shed a light on what we know has been going on, because living in the South Florida area, you heard people talk about Craigslist stuff and backdoor whatever on the internet. So to see how people are being sold like this, right, is to me is an atrocity. Like if any way I would like to shed light to things like this can be stopped, I really would like to. I really do. I don't want no more pedophiles. I don't want no more little girls being trafficked, nor little boys, because we're in a world now where it's gone beyond where it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like if you look at your map and you're trying to figure out where your pedophile is, before they had a community for them, now the pedophiles are in your local neighborhood. You'd be surprised one of them may live down the block.
It's true.
But these are the things that we're dealing with right now. You know what I mean? And for this to be going on, it's like, yeah, I want to put a stop to that. As crazy as it sounds, I think, oh man.
So see, here's the thing, man.
Oh,
there's two sides to it. So one side is, these missing girls and boys that are going missing that we're unable to track down. Another side to it is actual parents and people that are supposed to be caregivers for these children that are either selling the kids to these pedophiles. Literally, there's people that sell their kids to pedophiles.
Yeah.
And you got people that just could willingly allow these pedophiles around their children for whatever benefits they may get from it.
Yeah.
Whether it's money or, positions of power, all these things. So this stuff's been going on for so long. Underground. Yeah, it's been going on for so long underground. It's like it's not even at the surface yet. It's just kind of bubbling up slowly still. But it's a lot, man.
So do you feel like this Wayfair scam this conspiracy that they're putting out is true? Like, do you think this is the way that they?
No, let me put it this way. They have this thing called a dark web, and it's basically like you go on the internet, right? You go on your Google Chrome, and most people go to www.something.com, right? And you go to Google and you search for something, and you find the link to the website you want to go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the dark web, basically you can have these you can have other URLs, and they're kind of cryptic. They have them where they can map them out. You could buy people. I'm being serious. You could buy people.
Organs.
You could buy organs. You could buy guns. You could buy illegal drugs, and it'll be shipped to your door on the internet right now. So
And no one can track them. Like no one can follow up on these things.
You can, but it's moving. It's jumping around so much.
On the dark web, what happens is they make it to where you're not directly going to the website, but you're going like a
back way, a
so
side.
It's kind of hidden. But so it's not. But I'm saying that to say that it's not far fetched for me to say that hey, people are selling things on eBay, on Amazon, or Wayfair.
Mm-hmm.
They're all e-commerce sites. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that stuff can easily happen on any type of e-commerce site.
Mm-hmm.
But it's now to identify it because, like, if you look at some of those pictures, as far as like Cancerian pillow going for $9,999.43, I was like, why would anyone have in their right mind? You know, I could understand the cabinetry and certain names and so forth, but like a pillowcase.
No, this stuff's been going on. You heard about Pizzagate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pizzagate.
Why were people paying thousands of dollars for pizza parties in Washington D.C.? It wasn't for the pizza. It was sex trafficking, and that's what those Hillary Clinton emails exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Those emails, they were saying things like, "Oh, let me get this many pepperoni pizzas, and let me get this many cheese pizzas." Like they weren't talking about pizza; they were talking about
little boys,
little girls, straight up. So
and they're happening in the White House.
Yeah, this type of stuff has been going on. And is just now bubbling up.
You know, not saying anything. A lot of people is upset about how social media is out and a lot of stuff. But when it comes to things like this, I'll take it. It's something I have to take the good with the bad.
Oh yeah, you gotta spread this information around.
What do you mean they're upset with how social media is outing stuff? What do you mean?
No, because you know how some people is like, yo, because of social media, the world is going crazy because too much information is what considered a problem, and how information can get distorted based on how you can see it's been used in political views nowadays. But when it comes to things of this nature, when we can help save lives, I guess this is where you take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? And at this point, I'll take it. At any way, form, or shape that we can stop any form of inhumanity, I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean?
Let me just make it plain too. See, like Trump has these indictments out for these pedophiles. I don't know what's going on with it, but literally, he's already put the indictments out on people in Hollywood, people in politics. They already been getting their court dates and court hearings that are not, it's public, but there's not showing this stuff on CNN for some reason, Fox News for some reason. So it's hitting the fan, but I don't know what's taking so long, to be honest, because these indictments went out February of this year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now you have to understand that these indictments went out in February, and in order to have the court buildings, the government buildings shut down so that they can't have these indictments, what do? They have to shut the government down. When you shut the government down, there's businesses that have to follow suit. So if you shut the government down, schools have to be closed. You have to close other businesses, right? So there's all this controversy, and it could lead us down a rabbit hole in conversation.
Yes, it can.
But it's very coincidental how certain things happen at certain times, because Hillary Clinton was supposed to have an indictment.
She was supposed to be in court. I think it was May. And then she even herself said, because of COVID, I want to get my court date pushed back. Yeah. And now her court date is in September.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for it. It's supposed to be September. I believe it's September 9th. It's early September, like the first week of September.
Like right around primary, around voting time, right? When it gets real heated.
Yeah.
So these things are supposed to happen. Like, they wanted the shutdown because then they can say, well, now we went into economy and this is the worst economy.
Yeah, Trump destroyed the economy.
And Trump destroyed the economy. Or if he does the stimulus checks, well, he doubled our deficit. So either way, a lot of these politicians are in a can't win situation, right? But a lot of these things are pushed through or held back because of the people who have the pull and the push. And if you've got the pull and the push and you're in trouble, you're going to try and delay it as long as you can.
Yeah.
So that you can keep that pull and push you have.
And then I do want to say another thing about this, the quarantine. It did happen at a prime time because what happens is some of these celebrities are actually on house arrest. They're wearing ankle monitors.
Like Oprah.
And Ellen DeGeneres. They're wearing ankle monitors. They've been exposed, you know what I'm saying, on social media and internet. People that know that they're already in the process. You know what I'm saying, as far as being investigative on these things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ankle monitors for what?
For crime.
Crime, show. There's things
crime. Like, you have to look at some of the people. Like, not only do you have to follow the money trail, you got to see who's on the guest list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that Oprah chilled with, Weinstein,
straight up
Epstein, they're all pedophiles.
Dude in South America, straight up pedophiles.
Straight pedophiles. The Clintons, you can't ask a Haitian person what they think about the Clintons. Because they get more. Like, it would be like, you ready for this? Right? Mm-hmm. Sex trafficking, organ harvesting, let alone all these billions of dollars that were given during the 2010 earthquake. Where'd that go? Because it didn't go to the people. The plastic food that was sent to them, right? The gentrification. My mom's from Jacmel. That is a magical rainforest, right? If you want to talk about paradise, now there's more white people on the plane going to Haiti than Haitians. You'd be lucky if you find 2 Haitians on a plane. It's all white people going in, sweat. Look, again, rabbit hole. But you have to understand that you have to look at who these people's guest lists are and where they get their money from.
Yeah.
Like that Ghislaine Maxwell, right?
Yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell. We talked about that.
Right? Epstein's girlfriend and Predator number 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Remember that girl, Bonet, the little white girl that was like in the beauty pageants and she went missing?
Yeah.
Tell me why they found a picture with her and Maxwell.
Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes, there is and she's in the background.
It's crazy.
Remember the little girl, and they were like, well, they were doing
John Bonet, yeah. There's a picture, someone found it on the web, and Ghislaine Maxwell is in the background. It's crazy.
You know what it is? Like Cian said, with access to information, you got to take the good with the bad. Mm-hmm. And you have to be, and you cannot, like, honestly, they said the quarantine, it was the best and the worst thing that could have happened to us. You want to know why? Mm-hmm. Because you can't lie to yourself anymore. Like, how many times are you going to be like, oh, well, this isn't important? No, it is important. Keeping your household together, being economically sound, keeping your relationships together for the people that actually matter because they share your address and 24/7 with you, that matters. Sports, that really doesn't matter because a lot of fans realize that they could live without a season.
Yep.
Movies don't matter. Going to the movies doesn't matter. Keeping the relationships that matter, that matters. Being decent human beings and having a future for yourself, that matters. So if you didn't take this time to get your life right and to get your priorities straight, you're dumb. And then you can just stay dumb. But don't vote. Because I don't need you putting your mind into what's going to happen with my life.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of these people are being exposed because now people have time.
Yeah.
And they can do the research. And what do you think that now that you can do research, people are being blocked on YouTube, Facebook? We follow a few people on YouTube. They get blocked for weeks and months at a time just for sharing knowledge that's already out there because they make it accessible and they explain it.
Yeah. And I just want to say, like, you know, we look at this pedophilia thing. It's deeper than them just even, you know, raping. There, you know, if you heard of this thing called adrenochrome, it's what they're doing is they're basically torturing children.
Yeah.
To heighten this adrenochrome drug that your body naturally produces when you're in a
fight or flight situation.
Yeah, that and it's prevalent in children. And then at that point, they take the blood and they actually drink it.
Yeah.
And it gives them some type of euphoria. This is known in Hollywood. You know, they talk about this stuff.
They talk about, like, they have it at the concerts.
Yeah.
Like the mass concerts, because everything's so loud, you can't hear these kids screaming for help.
Yep.
When there's space, opportunity, and time, if you're a decent person, you do good work. Mm-hmm. If you're inherently evil, that is the worst place for you to be in. Space, opportunity, and time. And these people have access to resources and money to have the space, opportunity, and time. And that's why they say money does not create happiness. Money creates space, opportunity, and time. And when you get exposed to stuff and that stuff no longer gives you the high, then you start doing different stuff. Mm-hmm. The worst person to rehabilitate is a sexual predator. You want to know why? They don't rehabilitate. They just go for stuff different.
That's correct. They just change your interest.
That's like pornography, right?
Oh.
Right? That's a rabbit hole. That's a rabbit hole. Listen, if you've never watched pornography, please don't. Please don't. You don't want to open yourself up to that. Because when you watch pornography, you watch, okay, man and woman doing it. Man and two women doing it. Man and man doing it. Man, goat, animal, cup, right? Then it goes down to the pedophilia. They're the hardest people to rehabilitate because they can't go back. Once you go a certain place sexually, it's hard to go back. Yeah. And no, you don't go back. You just go a different route. And it's more perverse every turn you take. So these people have money, access, time, and opportunity. And money is the root of all evil.
Yes,
because it perverts you. Look at all the people that win lotteries and then they wish they never had the money because their life is so the reality is so different from the expectations.
I agree.
Of what they thought the outcome would be.
I mean, Biggie said it. The more money you get, the more problems you see.
See you, Big Me.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm not saying being a bum and don't handle your money and make money be beneficial for you and your family.
Well, and Ginny, so I like what you said because, you know, we talk about being rich and wealthy and being comfortable. It's like, I just want my family to not have nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? In a sense of financial stress, that would be it. But forget all the mayhem that comes with it. You know what I mean? No, Davil.
Yeah.
I know you touched upon the email, dog. Is there anything else you want to let loose on that?
Nah, man. I think I said it all. Everything I got, man.
Everything you got. All right. No.
Down September.
I'm waiting. Well, I mean, and for every political person that's tied to the emails, on both sides, right? And for who it will expose, I think it should expose. Nothing stays in the dark for too long. Light will eventually touch it. Exactly. You know what I mean? And as well, even if you live in a cave, somebody will come through with a flashlight eventually and shine some light into your situation. But before I jump into the positive thought for the week, is there anything else we want to let loose, Trev? Anything else you want to say?
Shout out to Zendaya and John David Washington. They found a way to film a movie during the quarantine. They're kind of the experiment towards to see how can studios reopen to start filming again. I forgot the title of the movie they're filming, but they went through every protocol they have to. They quarantined all their staff, their crew, for about like 14 days. Then everyone that's not on camera was in masks, and once the camera's off, people are put back into masks. Like, they went through so much protocol that there's I think it was Zendaya who really promoted that. Hey, we can't just sit here and do nothing, because I think she's trying to film her second season of Euphoria, but she was like, hey, she got in contact with her director and some writers to see, can we put out a film during this time, and it I like the effort they put in towards it, and knowing that, hey, this is a dangerous time. We ain't playing around. We're not in supermarket stores throwing a tantrum about wearing a mask or not. Like, we gotta make sure everyone's safe if we want to continue life.
The movie, I looked it up. It's called Malcolm and Marie.
Okay.
All right.
And since the quarantine, it's not going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be like holding it back, because mostly just post production. But it looks like it will be coming out this year, same as in everything that we want to watch. A lot of their if they were at post production, they're definitely still coming, because that's now the editors that's at home just doing nothing but sitting at home and working. You know what I mean? So we're still gonna get stuff to watch. It's just there's gonna be some live stuff. I don't know. Like this whole bubble that's happening in Orlando for NBA. I don't think that was a good idea. To be honest.
Well, let's see how that turns, Trevor. But Trevor, you know how we talk about what's being stuck, and Janice talk about we can live without sports. I think this is a time to show that we can live without movies too. You know what I mean? I think we should get back to the point where instead of kids are having their computer dictate where they get their information, they should go back to some of the old tactics, because it's like, for example, if you've never been fishing, you would never understand how comforting fishing is. You know what I mean? It's easier to go to the Publix or to any of your local grocery stores and buy fish, but there's just a feeling you get when you fish for yourself. You know what I mean? So that is the courageous retrospect in the span of what's been going on. But I do happy what they've been coming out with. There's this new little movie that I watched on Netflix last night. I forgot the name of it. With these people who can't die.
Dang! I just saw the title.
I forgot the name of it, but it was a very good movie. I would say.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that one.
Oh, Trev, if you ain't doing anything, you taking a movie night, watch it. You're gonna enjoy it. I'll tell you that. Every night?
Yeah, the old guard. The old guard.
All right. So Trevor, wait, Donville, I think I'm snatching you this week for the positive thoughts. I think I'm gonna take the ratchet one.
Oh, thank you, sir. So I had a friend that passed away yesterday. I was thinking about he's a young cat, man, real young youth, and kind of sad to me. But what brought joy to me was that he, every time I spoke to him, he always had a smile. He always had, like, always had a light in his eye. Always had a positive attitude about things. So I just want to share that, a smile can literally change 1,000 lives. Just your smile does go a long way in your life. You don't know how it can affect people, but it does have an effect on every person you smile at, man. They're gonna remember that, and just want to share that with y'all.
All right, thank you. Now, guys, I'm a snap. Sure, my condolences. No, you see, it's gonna be hard for me to drop a ratchet thought off that one, Doctor, but I'm gonna take it. You know what I mean? In the retrospect of the mayhem that's going on, and this is for men and women. Is what's going on in your bedroom in your personal life? Can you just keep it there? We don't need to be known about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it there, especially if you're trying to be inspirational to us. Keep it there. You know what I'm saying? And for any other side dudes out there like August Alsina, please disappear. We don't need you out there. You know what I'm saying? Please disappear. I do want to thank
with the good hair too. Hey, don't forget her.
I do want to start and thank Janice first and foremost. Janice, you're amazing for coming to the stadium. You're welcome. I do also want to thank my lovely wife, Chanel, to come and speak with us today on a very important issue. And I want to give a special shout out and thanks to my boy Hassan, who's having lovely weather out there in Texas.
Yes.
But
thank you. I want to you guys mind if I say something real quick?
Go ahead, son. Go ahead, dog.
I want to give a shout out to a family member of mine. He passed away not too long ago. Because of the COVID. So his name is I'm gonna call him by his Haitian name. His name is Edouard.
You go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So he recently passed away, and it kind of devastated a lot of his side of his family. And he was a genuinely happy, person. He's always out there helping. He was somebody who was very respectable, and he was successfully financial. He was financially successful. Excuse me. And he used his money and his sources to go out there and help others become, a better person or a better woman and man, And he traveled. He was always there, man. And he took care of us when we were kids, especially when my mom was struggling so hard by herself. He literally went out of his way, had us stay at his house, took care of us, did everything he can, to make sure that we're okay. And it's unfortunate of what happened, but I know he's in a happy place right now, and I just want to say thank you to him for everything that he did. And it sucks that I didn't get a chance to see him one last time, but I do know that he's happy. So I want to give a shout out to him.
Go ahead. Repeat his name for me one more time, please.
Huh?
Repeat his name for me clearly one more time.
Edouard.
No, his first and his last name. I'm going to give the man his respect, bro. Go ahead.
Edouard Negat.
Edouard, okay. Don't hurt me in my pronunciation.
I have a hard sometimes.
No, you do that.
Also, I gotta point this out. I just want to thank everyone that reached out to me to check in on my well-being. Like it was kind of shocking because I was like, oh yeah, I do have that, don't I? But
I'm supposed to be sick in my house, right? You right, guys?
Yeah, I'm still in my house. I'm like,
being sick.
I'm like wondering why all these people call me all of a sudden, like, yo, I just heard you right. Yeah, it was nothing but love, and I just want to definitely thank every one of them. Like, I mean, I can name all of them, but it's pointless. Like, I just appreciate a lot of them heard it on the podcast, a lot of them heard it because of hearsay. You know what I mean? So it's just, I appreciate that. And to anyone else out there that thinking that this disease, it's just like propaganda or whatever. This thing is serious. Like this, I mean, yeah, I might have it, and I might be symptomatic, but there's other cases out there that goes even worse because of previous health conditions.
That's correct.
And rest in peace to Hassan's family member. Then, even if you don't even catch this disease, it's going to this affected 2020 in a big way, right? It affected the world in a big way. I couldn't go to my grandmother's funeral because of this disease. You know what I mean? I couldn't do many things that I was planning to do this year because this thing, it affects us in so much different ways. So the effect is more realer than the actual disease. You know what I mean? So please understand that, hey, everyone do the precautions. Wear your mask, wash your hand. Why we have to tell grown people to wash their hand, I don't understand. But still, wash your hand. Be distance from each other. Even though you love them, you miss them, still understand that there's a distance we got to give. Just for right now. Until, I'm not pro-vaccines or anti-vaccines. I'm just saying, I don't know what's out there. Be careful what you insert into your body.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research on everything. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a lot. But just take this moment serious. Be there for one another in this dark times. Like, and again, shout out to everyone that reached out to me.
And we're gonna wish Tati a shout out for holding you down, Trevor, while you sick.
Oh yeah.
I know. It's normally double time when husbands go down.
Yeah, and shout out to her, like, so important. Like, she makes sure I'm straight. Her whole family keeps asking, you okay? Anything popped up? Do we need to do anything? Like, yeah, I'm married into the family, but it's like you feel like you're born into it. You know what I mean? After realizing, they care. They going out their way to care. You know what I mean? So I love that. You know what I mean?
All right, Trevor. I'm emotional because I see what you're about to get tonight. All right, I shall motion you. Stupid. Let me stop. Guys.
No.
So we can wrap it up, guys. I do want to say thank you for everybody else. Everybody out there, please be safe. One Pop Podcast. We out. Peace.
You know what time it is?
Entanglement time?
Entanglement time.
No.
44.
No entanglement. You will not promote that.
No, it's 44, man. Y'all need to wake
No
up.
way.
That's the Farrakhan. It's 44.
All right, guys, I'm out. All right, cheers.
All right, y'all.